You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hello and welcome to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would jump into some of the foundational principles that I use in my therapeutic practice. So each episode in this season will break down a different foundational principle that I use in my therapeutic practice. So today, we're going to jump into two things can be true at the same time. So let's jump right in. It sounds simple enough, right? Two things can be true. Almost too simple, maybe too obvious. But this is something that I talk about with my clients a lot. It's something that comes up quite regularly in that two things can be true at the same time. I can have two experiences, two different feelings, two different ideas, two different thoughts, and they don't always have to match or be in alignment with one another. They can be opposing and still be true at the same time. It's our human experience. We often find ourselves caught in that black and white thinking. It can be either this or it can be that. And it can lead to that internal conflict or judgment or feeling stuck if I have to believe that one of these things is true and one of these things is not. So we can think about it in a bunch of different examples. So one, I should be happy because X happened, but I'm actually feeling sad. So there must be something wrong with me. Or I really, really love this person. I really, really care about this person, but I'm mad that they did this thing. Therefore, the relationship must not be good. Right? So we start to draw these conclusions. We start to perceive the situation as a certain way because we're not willing to believe that two of these things can be true at the same time. So this is a process that we go through when I'm sitting with clients is, can these two things be true at the same time? So this principle invites us to embrace the complexity and the nuance of the situation and allow us to think critically about what is actually happening. Encourages us to hold seemingly contradictory emotions, thoughts, or experiences simultaneously without needing to choose one or the other or invalidate one of those experiences. So, for example, we can be very, very grateful for the life that we have and still be experiencing a loss. Both of these experiences are real. Both of them are valid. Both the gratitude and the loss can be true at the same time in the same moment. But I need to be willing to experience both of these things at the same time, which sometimes can cause discomfort in us. And so we tend to want to invalidate one or say, this isn't true because of this. This principle is a game changer because we can start to add and into our sentence. I can fiercely love someone and I can be mad at them. Both of those things can be true, right? So I don't have to change what I fundamentally know to be true. And I can leave room that isn't maybe always the truth, or that there's more to my experience than just one thing. So I can acknowledge what's happening behind the scenes without it having to negate everything that I've known before. It isn't about intellectualizing our feelings. We're not just thinking through our feelings, but what we're doing is trying to understand that there's more to the situation. There's more to holding two different things to be true. There's more complexity to the situation. So someone can be trying their best and still making mistakes, right? So I'm not trying to intellectualize it. I'm trying to broaden the horizon. I'm trying to see the whole canvas for what it is. So how can we start practicing this? Beginning to notice when we're falling into that black and white thinking of it has to be this or it has to be that is really key in starting to be able to use this practice. This two things can be true at the same time. So when I start to feel that internal tug or that internal dissonance in myself, I'm going to pause and ask myself, what if both of these things could be true at the same time? What if I'm both strong and vulnerable? What if I'm doing my best and still leaving room to grow? What if the situation is challenging and I'm capable of doing it? So this subtle shift leaves wiggle room for the situation to evolve. It leaves wiggle room for me not to get caught in a corner and not believe that there's more to the situation than what's actually going on. So it's subtle but powerful, and it allows us to really embrace that fully human experience, to really embrace the fact that I'm not just one thing, or one thing can't just be true. There can be multiple things true at the same time. Thank you so much for joining me today on Confessions of a Counselor. Remember that embracing the idea that two things can be true at the same time is a pathway towards greater self-compassion, deeper understanding, and a more authentic life. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.